it's true. Most people aren't actually that lazy, but the modern day environment really makes it hard to be productive, energetic and motivated. And especially when it comes to our diets, you're being lied to about the optimal food pyramid, how important carbs are, and the dangers of animal fats and eggs, for example. But after getting obsessed with nutrition myself some time ago and having tried different ways of eating since then, I finally realized something huge. The right way of eating, which I'll explain in this video, will make you wake up energetic, work out through the entire day while maintaining insane focus, which makes you achieve incredible productivity and also improve your happiness like you'd never expect. All just by changing what you eat, and after just a few days. And everybody can do it. It's crazy, guys. But you probably have a few questions in mind that I'll answer in this video. How do you even eat for more productivity and less laziness? What's it actually gonna take and will it be worth it? And how did I figure this out in the first place? And that's where I want to start off. Because just 5 years ago, I had zero interest in nutrition. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna eat whatever. I'm never gonna count my calories. I want to enjoy good things. As long as I don't get fat or skinny as hell, I'm not gonna worry about it at all. Then some time passed, I got more invested in the gym and I started to focus a little bit on protein. I still didn't care about calories, about macros in general, micros. I just wanted more protein. Started eating skyr, more chicken, stuff like that. Then some more time passed and I slowly wanted to be more healthy, feel better, perform better, cover all my nutrients and eat probably a varied, balanced diet just to be sure and cover everything I potentially need. That was probably about 2, maybe 1 year ago. And about 1 year ago, I also decided to try the low-carb diet for the first time, aka keeping my carbohydrates low, but increasing fat and protein. I tried to be in ketosis, which is when your body uses fat as fuel instead of carbs. I tried to be below 30 to 50 grams of carbs a day and just see how this affects my body. Will this give me more energy, more clarity, more drive? I wasn't really sure, but I wanted to try this. I stumbled over some videos here on YouTube and I was just curious because so many people seemed to have more energy and better mental clarity and even better mood as well. So I wanted to find out. And I will say I did it for a bit, felt a few benefits, but fell off again because it's not really very normal. I didn't have a strong desire, like I didn't want to cut weight. I just wanted to see if it makes me feel better and perform better. But when literally 90% or so of foods are not keto friendly, especially when you're trying to get something on the go, it really makes it hard. It is hard. So I went off the keto diet again, actually tried the carnivore diet for a few weeks, but I also never truly committed. Then some time passed, I learned more about nutrition and stuff like that. And about 4 to 6 weeks ago, I went low carb again. I wanted to give this another shot because I really thought it felt good at first. I just didn't bring the discipline to actually stick to it. This time around, it was way easier. The transition was very smooth as well. And I got into it and quite quickly felt the benefits. Then about 3 weeks ago, I decided to step it up even more and went about 80% carnivore.
How dare you!
And I can tell you, for the last few weeks, my energy, my focus, my mood and my motivation have been going up steadily. And this leads me to why your diet makes you lazy. Because I know both sides. When I say your diet, of course I don't mean you specifically, at least not necessarily, but I just mean the average diet, the standard Western diet, following the food pyramid. Maybe with a bit more processed stuff too. And this brings multiple aspects that make you lazy. First of all, you of course have the insulin spikes. Because the standard Western diet heavily depends on carbohydrates, you will definitely feel your blood sugar levels rising and dropping. And this brings multiple drawbacks. For one, you get addicted as hell to carbs. Like every time you crash, you get hungry again, you crave those carbs again. And also after lunch, look at basically any Western office, the people have their carbs and after that they're just tired, sleepy, lazy, brain fog, All those things I don't want. But if they would actually remove the carbs, they would feel much better after lunch. They would feel the same, probably even better than before. But instead, they have their bread, their pasta, their rice or whatever, and then they crash. They need a nap, they need some time off, they need to go for a walk or whatever. But focused, deep, productive work? Nope. So of course, that literally makes you lazy. But when you have the same or even better energy after your lunch and you actually then do the work, which is way easier when you keep your carbs low, of course you're getting more productive. So there's that. Then, because of the addiction to carbs, because you literally get hungry just a few hours after eating a proper big meal, but you crave carbs again, you're also kind of frying your dopamine receptors. The average Western eating habits definitely don't support delayed gratification. Tell a carb-addicted person to fast for one day, and it will be very hard, or they will even fail, especially when they have no experience with fasting. And tell a fat-adapted person, someone who is low carb, who is in ketosis, to fast for a day, even when they have no experience with fasting, I really believe this person will do much better, because they are not as addicted and they don't need the food right now, or otherwise they can't perform. Then, because of this problem, you're usually eating way more than you need. I think this gets especially worse with sugar and probably to some extent with seed oils as well. But try overeating on eggs and steak versus fries and steak. That's also why obesity is skyrocketing right now. Then of course, the processed food, the sugar, the seed oils, they ruin your nervous system and your brain. Like I said, they are not good for your dopamine and they are also not good for your testosterone. And low levels of testosterone are strongly associated with laziness, with having no energy, having no drive, no motivation. So that's just another big reason why your diet potentially makes you lazy. And fifth, you're most likely generally not eating what humans have eaten for millennia. If you're eating the average American diet, most of what you eat are literally new inventions. Stuff not even your grandfather has eaten. And yet, you expect good health? Diabetes, cancer, heart disease, obesity are skyrocketing now all of a sudden? Oh, surely it's because of the animal fats. Yet surely the red meat we have eaten since the dawn of humanity. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Either way, those are 5 big reasons why following the average diet simply makes you lazy. Now, let's talk about why a low-carb diet works so well to kill your laziness. And I can tell you, this might really change your life. If you've never tried it, if you never tried a low-carb diet, you must give this a chance. And also, if you never truly tried it, you never really committed to it, please give this a chance as well. Because the truth is, there are 0 grams of essential carbs, but eat 0 grams of fat and you'll die. I think this already says a lot. For millennia, we ate way less carbs than we eat in today's age. And especially sugar. We humans are not used to this and most likely not designed for this. God did not create us to eat Dunkin' Donuts every day. And if you replace the calories from those pointless carb sources like sugary snacks, processed food, even bread, pasta and stuff like that, which isn't really that nutritious, let's face it, but you replace that with nutritious fat or protein, of course you're gonna feel better, won't you? Of course, this right there isn't as much about carbs versus fat, but just high nutrition versus low or weak nutrition. When you eat a lot more red meat, which is supposedly now giving all the heart disease and cancer, even though there were a total of 8 heart attacks just 200 years ago, then you will have more nutritional value in your diet. You will have more micronutrients that your body actually needs. And of course, therefore, you will feel much better. You will also have way less intense blood sugar spikes. You won't crash. I talked about that earlier. Have steak and eggs for lunch and you will feel literally the same, actually even better after lunch. But have your frozen pizza, of course you will feel like shit afterwards. You will. And you know it. Then when you make that switch and you get your energy from fat versus carbs and you get into ketosis, it might fix many of your issues. Like many people have improved their mental health, their chronic diseases, or whatever else just by getting into ketosis, cutting the junk, but also reducing carbs. I'm not saying carbs are necessarily the enemy, but I will say that fat is definitely your friend, especially if it's good quality. And no, it won't give you a heart attack. This theory has been crushed before, but most people still believe it. You need fats to survive and thrive. That's a fact. Additionally, you will have way less bloating, especially when you go carnivore. People always say, oh, those farts must be crazy when they see someone eating multiple eggs. But the truth is, they don't fart. They usually don't have to fart. Sure, maybe once or twice, but you actually fart because of all the veggies, because of all the fiber that you literally can't digest. Again, it would be simplified to say that fiber or veggies are bad. I'm not saying that, but I don't know if you like bloating, but you won't have that when you just eat animal foods. And no, you also won't be constipated. This is also a myth that still stands, even though it's completely wrong. And I can tell you for 100% from my own experience, despite being on this carnivore diet for a few weeks now, I still poop regularly, every day. Don't think you really care, but I do. It works. I'm not constipated. And I feel much better too. But to get back to the point of why low carb makes you way more motivated and productive, I want to address this once again. So many people on this diet improve their mental health. And I talk a lot about Energymaxxing on this channel. And mental health is one of the 7 essential pillars for high energy. So of course, if your mental health is good, your motivation, productivity and stuff like that will also be much better. Additionally, you also have to cook because literally most foods are loaded with carbs. So you have to prepare the food or the meals yourself. And this again can make you more productive because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Put a processed pizza in your oven and eat that. Just mentally, you'll expect the same thing from work. Just do something and get the result. No work needed, no effort, easy. But when you actually cook your meal, you have to cut your stuff, season your stuff, put it in the pan, cook it. Actually put some effort into this. It's also going to affect your work ethic. I think that's true. But right now we're getting into the small details, I think. There are even more things that play into this. But for now, I want to move on. And you're probably wondering what exactly you should eat to kill your laziness. And that's what I'm going to talk about now. And to start this segment, I want to quickly go over what not to eat, because this might be more important actually. And here we have 2 levels, at least. So for one, of course, sugar, you know that. Same as processed foods, fast food, just trash. You know what kind of foods I'm talking about. That's what everybody should reduce or even remove completely. Then if you want to go harder, if you want to go to the next step, you also remove seed oils, which maybe realistically you should even do on this first level. But you remove seed oils, bread, just grains and gluten in general, pasta, and even if you want to stay keto, too much fruit. You can have fruit, especially berries, but if you overdo it, you will fall out of ketosis. And also, if you want to do it, or rather not do it, also remove the veggies. This is not necessarily needed for keto, but can be beneficial for many. And especially on a carnivore diet, of course, you would remove that too. But I will get back to that later quickly again. In general, I think, of course, this is all individual and your goal should be to find out how you react to specific foods, what you should eat, what you should not eat, how certain things really make you feel. And that's what many people do as well. They only eat meat because that's usually the safest thing. And then they add fruit again, for example. And then they see how they feel. Do they feel better, the same, or worse? And then you adapt. Then you add honey, then you add veggies maybe, then maybe rice, sweet potato. But again, that's going to be individual. Some will react differently to others, and that's going to be your task, your job. I won't tell you specifically what to eat. Then what to eat, even though I just said I won't tell you specifically what to eat, but if you want to, try low carb for 1 month. Really give this a chance. I talked about this earlier. Just give this a shot. See how you react, see how you feel. And then you can still go back. Then you can still have your carbs. But you need 0 grams of carbs. So maybe just try having low or even no carbs. Just to make that experience. Don't you want that? Maybe you're missing out. Many people realize they have missed out when they go on this diet. So again, animal foods, meat, dairy, eggs. Dairy is a little bit, you don't have to. You probably can, but that's gonna be individual again. I think especially raw dairy is probably fine for most. The processed dairy, but meat and eggs, that's your foundation. And then for low carb, you can also have some fruit, non-starchy veggies, kraut, nuts, dark chocolate, olive oil, coconut oil, things like that. Or if you want to go really hard and you want to try a carnivore diet, which I'll probably make a few videos about in the future too, just eat meat, organs, eggs, and again, if you want dairy, that can work even better for some as well. But again, you'll have to experiment. Or as the third option, you can also go animal-based. So you go carnivore and you also have fruit, honey, fermented foods like sauerkraut. You have your raw dairy if you want, maybe carrots, maybe some sweet potato, maybe rice. But in my opinion, that gets a bit carb heavy again. If you're working out a lot, probably go for it. Again, see how your body reacts. But if you just want optimal brain performance, I don't know. You'll have to see for yourself. That's really the truth. So my challenge is give the low carb diet a try for 30 days and your life might change. Your brain will rewire, you will have a much better relationship with food, and your laziness might be gone. But see for yourself. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, I would really appreciate a like. But of course, it's up to you. Eat your eggs, have a great day, and bye.